Here's another strata problem, risky projects, and this problem involves identifying if a project is going over budget. And in order to solve this problem, we're going to have to prorate the length of the time instead of by the start date end dates by how many days and the budget on a yearly basis with 3 different data tables. If that sounds overwhelming, it is, and this problem should be labeled hard. And this is the only medium video I've done too, but it's definitely a hard problem. To start off this problem, we're going to have to get the columns, ID, title, budget, and then the date difference of day by day, start date, end date, as with days, we'll call it. Run this. Here's the new table. The next thing we need to do is we need to label everything as P, first of all, for projects, because we're going to have to interjoin 2 more tables so that all 3 tables are joined together. Let's just make sure this runs still. Okay, and that's why I make sure. So P.date, P.date, P.budget. Oh, that's why I run it right now. And now we're going to interjoin the second table. I'm going to call this table L for lookup because this is just 2 IDs. So essentially this is a lookup table. So we're going to do on p.id is equal to lookup.project ID. Let's make sure this works, and it did. The next thing we're going to do is interjoin one last table, Lincoln employees, E on e.id is equal to the lookup.emp.id. And let's run it, and it does. So now that everything is joined, the last thing we will need is the e.salary. We need to get the salary so we can do a group by, which is coming up next. And this, we're going to save this as a table. We'll just call it as budgets, as this. And then we need to select, let's make sure that there's no errors, select all from budgets. Okay, it works. The second thing we need to do is create a salary table. So salary as, select the p.id. Actually, we'll call it the p.title. Or we'll just do the p.id, the sum of the salary from original budget table created, group by the ID. We don't need this actually. We didn't call anything. Column name, to a salary, sum salary. Oh, we need to save this as something. So as total salaries. This is going to be more than 1 salaries. Here comes the hard part. We're going to have to interjoin this table. Call it B again. So we need b.title, b.budget, and b.days. Let's make sure this runs. Okay, we have like 3 columns. We're going to have to do another join. So we'll join that table with this table, salary S on s.id is equal to the b.id. Make sure this runs. It still runs, gets good. S dot, we need to get the total salaries. Let's make sure. And we're still in good shape. Here's the total salaries. And here comes the tricky part. We need to multiply the days by the salary, because this is going to be prorated. We're going to call this as prorate salary. We're making this a new line. The tricky part about this is the fact that we have to divide it by 365, first of all. And that's what the directions say. We don't have to worry about leap year. Is we have to round up. This is the correct number, except we need to round up. And this is the hardest part of the problem and why it's probably should be labeled hard. So we need to cast this as a decimal, because in order for something to round up, it has to see that there's something there to begin with. And it's 1, 2, 1, 2. Counting parentheses. And let's run this. And like I said, this is the hard part. So ceiling, cast. Oh, I misspelled ceiling. I misspelled it. Okay, it works. That had me scared for a second. So we're going to call this variance as this. And it rounded up. Now it's showing 9.3 instead of 9.2. We're going to call this a variance because a variance report by definition is checking the projections by the actual. And now we have to do select. And in the expected output, they only want the title. So we want the title, the budget. Whoa. The budget. And the prorate salary from the variance, where, here's another tricky part, they only want the ones that are at risk of going over budget. So if the prorate salary is greater than the budget, and we're going to order by title, and this should be solved. Solution is incorrect. Okay, and the last thing we need to do is that it's duplicating sometimes the issue. So we need to get the distinct. And look, it's solved. Oh, it's solved. See, here our solution solved, and it's green, it popped up. This question, like I said, should be labeled hard. And if you have any questions on it, leave me a comment. This is how I solved it. There's probably an easier way. Thanks for watching.